The entrepreneurial journey is a spiritual journey. Now, what the heck does that mean, Andre? You see, this has been one of the most profound insights I've had over the last year. And in this video, I want to share it with you so that you can change your life both professionally and personally. And so my quick disclaimer on this is that 99% of you watching this video are probably not going to understand what the hell I'm even talking about. But my hope is that you get a glimmer and a glimpse into what you need to do in order to change your life for the better. And so, first of all, this idea that business and making money is somehow related to spirituality seems so strange and so odd and even predatory on the surface, right? It seems like those mega churches in the States where the priests are wearing Gucci and Louis Vuitton and they're saying, God wants me to have all this money and God wants you to give me all of your money, right? This is not that, okay? This is not that at all, okay? And so I'm going to explain this in the best way I can. And so in order to understand this, let's first talk about business, okay? What is business all about, okay? A main component of business is marketing, okay? If people don't know about your business, you will not make sales, right? And so how do people learn about your business? Through the stories you tell. Okay, people learn about your business through the stories you tell. Okay, everyone got that? Great. Okay, and so marketing is essentially about putting stories into people's heads, right? And in fact, our entire society and our entire culture and human history is basically built on putting stories into other people's heads, right? The very language we're using right now is a story, right? For example, when I say the word word, a whole bunch of stories could pop into your head about what word means, right? For example, if you're familiar with hip hop culture from the 80s and 90s and I end my sentence with word, you'll think it just means like true. And you'll also be like, why is this dude using outdated references? Okay. Or outdated slang. And so what most people would hear when you say the word word is just they think it means like a word in the language, right? And so my point is everything is constructed around stories, and that's how we give things their meaning, right? And so in order for your business to grow, you have to tell better stories to a bigger audience, okay? So in order for your business to grow, you have to tell better stories to a bigger audience, okay? And an example of this is Super Bowl commercials, right? You run a 30-second ad during Super Bowl, that's going to tell a story about the type of company that you are, right? You're the type of company that can afford to pay $7 million for a 30-second ad during the Super Bowl, right? And your commercial doesn't even have to be that good, right? The fact that you're doing that is telling a story about your business, right? Now, if you run a great ad that tells a great story, that's where the magic happens, right? That's how you get these big companies like Apple, Coca-Cola, Nike, McDonald's, Lululemon, right? And so how do you relate this to spirituality? Okay, so remember, marketing is all about putting stories into people's heads. Okay, marketing is all about putting stories into people's heads. Spirituality is about becoming aware of the stories people put into our heads. Okay, spirituality is about becoming aware of the stories people have put into our heads. Now, a lot of cynical people and a lot of skeptical people are what I call halfway spiritual, and they don't even know it, right? Because they're aware of some of the stories being put into their heads, right? And so they're the people that go on about government conspiracies or how this person is only saying this to make money, right? Like, this is such a money grab or whatever they say, right? Like, whenever you hear someone say, this is so expensive, or this is such a money grab, or this is a scam, right? You know that person has a spiritual issue with money, right? Because they've been told certain stories about money, right? They've been marketed these toxic ideas about money, right? Remember, money is nothing, right? We're the ones who give money its meaning. We're the ones who tell a story about money, right? And we're also the ones who have the power to tell ourselves a different story about money. In fact, we have the power to tell ourselves a different story about anything, okay? You have the power to change the meaning of anything. And so how does this relate back to our original thesis, right? The entrepreneurial journey is a spiritual journey, right? The entrepreneurial journey is a spiritual journey because in order for you to grow your business, you have to grow as a human being. And in order for you to grow as a human being, you have to confront all of your past stories, right? You have to confront your past stories about money. For example, right? If you're going to be running ads, you have to confront your past stories about trust, right? For example, if you're going to hire people, right? And so the skeptical people, the cynical people, the people who I call halfway spiritual because they're aware of the stories the media and the government are putting in their heads are hilarious to me. They're funny to me because they're not aware of the stories they themselves are telling themselves, right? And this is why I call them halfway spiritual, right? And so even if you're aware of the stories that you're putting in your head, that's great. You may be one of these people that are like, I know I'm negative. I know I'm a pessimist. That's just the way I am, right? That's great. That's the first step, right? But the real change happens when you take action to confront those stories, right? And change those stories that are keeping you stuck, right? So for example, if you're promoting your business and you want your business to grow, but you're afraid to get on camera and make videos like on TikTok or on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube, then guess what's going to happen? Your business is not going to grow, right? Simply because of that personal choice that you're making, right? Your business will stay stuck because of the story that you're shy or you hate speaking on camera or you're not good looking enough or you're ugly or you're old or your teeth are messed up, right? Those are all stories. Right? And sure, some Yahoo on the internet is going to point out those stories. But that Yahoo on the internet, that negative Nancy in the comment section, is telling themselves a whole bunch of negative stories about themselves. And they're in pain. They're hurting. Right? And so that alone, I'm not even going to get into that in this video. But that's a next spiritual realm that you can dive into. And so you can apply this framework to any part of your business wherever you're stuck, right? If you're making $1,000 a month, if you're making $10,000 a month, if you're making $100,000 a month, if you're making $1 million a month, if you're making $10 million a month, there's always more room for you to grow, and it's not financial, right? I want to make that very clear, right? You don't grow financially. Your finances are a byproduct of how you've grown personally, right? And so if you're stuck along any path of your entrepreneurial journey, it's because of some spiritual growth that you need to undertake. And so if you're interested in turning your expertise into an online business where you'll learn all the marketing and sales stuff, no problem. But you'll also learn the spiritual side, where you can get past these past stories that are keeping you stuck. I would invite you to click the link down below to book a call with me, and we can have a chat about where you are and where you want to go and what's keeping you stuck.